such a painful situation, and it's one of the most common situations that as parents we might lose our own awareness because most of us have been so hurt by that, or we've been we've been affected by it, or we've been the popular ones, we haven't been the popular ones. That also shapes the way we might parent. For example, I remember working with a father who was really upset that his son wasn't popular and he didn't have many friends. And then he did befriend someone, but the kid he befriended apparently was very unpopular. And then the father insisted that that boy had to cut off his relationship with that boy, because then he would be seen, his son would be seen as not popular because he was hanging out with a so-called unpopular kid. And that was all because of his own experience around being so marginalized and unpopular and not wanting his son to go through that agony. So it brings up a lot of stuff for parents. In other words, the first place probably to begin on that issue is we need to work on ourselves as parents. What does that bring up for us? And then we can help work more clearly, I think, with the social situation and follow our own kids' process around that. So, for example, one potential process there, for sure, is believing in our own individuality. And we might think, as a family, how do we celebrate our own individuality at home? Do we also uphold only popular values? But do we also nourish things that are more unusual and individual? And can we create a home atmosphere that really does that? And can our kid be stars, maybe not at school, but being the star at home or in other environments? And then the other thing to work on is, well, what do you see in those popular kids? What are they like? And many kids are admiring other people and wanting to be part of popular kid culture because they also project parts of themselves into those people. So then working with the kid, oh yeah, the popular kids, what are they like? Oh, you know, they walk around like they take over the world. They move there and here, and then suddenly you're with the kid and they're making these motions and they're taking up a lot of space. And usually the kid doesn't take up so much space, but it's more like this. So they need to be that popular kid. So acting out, what is the energy or what are the qualities in that so-called popular kid, and taking them in is also really important. And then there's also, of course, there's the whole, how active do we want to be in our schools, the activist to me, which is also really important in terms of the growth of the world and being a more inclusive world and being a more inclusive school system. Is I want to ask, well, what's happening at the school level? How do schools deal with more marginal people? And that's really important too.
How you deal with low moods.
Mm-hmm.
Low morale and low moods.
Yeah, with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, yeah. I write about this experience in my book. It was really a fun thing for me to try one day. My son came home, I think he was about 8, and he came home from a basketball game, and he was in a really low mood. He thought he played terrible, and he slumped on the couch. Oh, I was so sucky, and I suck. And it's like he was just in a low mood, and you couldn't console him. And usually parents, many parents are met with that particular mood. Usually what we do is we say, oh, it's just a game, and there'll be better games, and you're a great player, and we try to boost the kid up. So I had a different thought. I thought, okay, what I saw was that there was like a psychic, interesting, talking about inner critics. Here was the inner critic, now representing itself in an 8-year-old. How exciting. The inner critic was sitting on my kid's shoulders, telling him he sucked. He was a terrible basketball player. And what an exciting moment to not wait until you're older to go to therapy and have that battle, but let's fight with it now. So what I did was I became the inner critic, and I said, get ready, I'm going to do something, and this is really important when you work with kids, that you differentiate yourself as a parent from the role you're going to play so they don't think it's you. So I said to my son, get ready now, I am going to say some really nasty stuff. And it's not me, but it's something that is around, and it's going to be the biggest battle. And let's see what you're going to do with it, because here I come. And then I get, a really menacing voice, and you're the worst basketball player. You suck. You don't even deserve to be on the team. You are the worst. And then you can guess what happens. He begins to battle back. And then we have this major wrestling match, and he punches me and throws me on the ground. And then I say, congratulations. You just defeated that piece of shit. Now you're good. And then the move was over. That was it. First battle. Really grasping that as an amazing opportunity. That was a low mood. There's all kinds of low moods that kids have, obviously. That was just what came to mind. There's other low moods where you have to be much more sensitive with and join. Singing low moods is helpful. Singing to them, having them sing. Just being more creative. Making tones of the mood, speaking for the mood, reading into them, cuddling with them, whatever inspires you.